Everyone. Today's devotion for Thursday of Holy Week. One of the things I've been thinking about was just leading up to Jesus's crucifixion and just leading up to his arrest. And um, as I was thinking about this, I was just looking through Matthew because as a church we've been going through the Gospel of Matthew and just in talking about it throughout our sermons as we went through the Sermon on the Mount. And so Matthew 26:6 says this. Now, when Jesus was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, a woman came up to him with an alabaster flask of very expensive ointment, and she poured it out on his head as he reclined at table. And when the disciples saw it, they were indignant, saying, "Why this waste? For this could have been sold for a large sum and given to the poor." But Jesus, aware of this, said to them, "Why do you trouble the woman? For has she not done a beautiful thing to me? For you always have the poor with you, but you will not always have me. In pouring this ointment on my body, she has done it to prepare me for burial. For truly I say to you, that wherever this gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her." So, in thinking through this, one of the questions is who was this woman who did this? And so they were in Bethany, and we know that Jesus had some close friends that were in Bethany, Lazarus and his two sisters, Mary and Martha. Now, if we look at John's account of the same thing, we find out, well, it was Mary who anointed Jesus. And that's Mary is preparing for things. And so she anoints Jesus, and I think it's very telling that as we see later on in John, it is Mary who is the one who really first sees Jesus and goes and takes the good news and tells Peter and John about it. So seems to be someone who she's putting pieces together. She's noticing things because she takes the time to anoint Jesus at this juncture. And I wonder what the difference was between Mary taking the time and she noticed things, but why the disciples seemed clueless. And I wonder how that might apply to our life as we are going into the end of Easter week. Tonight we'll have, our Maundy Thursday service, and then tomorrow's Good Friday, and then we have Silent Saturday or Holy Saturday, and then we have Easter, Resurrection Day. And thinking through all that, and as we think through all of the different things that the disciples must have felt, just think through what they noticed. And it seems like Mary was paying attention to some things that the other disciples weren't. And even in the resurrection um, narrative, we find that to be the case. And I wonder if we really need to take more time to pay attention to the signs of what God is doing in our life, what God is doing around us. Because Mary seemed to have, but the disciples were clueless. The disciples were more concerned with the fact, and this is a line that is in the Gospels accounts in different places or in different ways for the same line that, well, you'll always have the poor. That's a line that's ripped out of context and used to talk about, well, we don't need to worry about it. That's not what Jesus was saying. Jesus was saying, well, she got something. She noticed something, and she needs to be lifted up for that because she understood things, and this should be an example to us that we should be looking to understand what's going on, that we should pay right homage to God and lift his name up, but also be looking for the places that he is at work and what he is up to. And when we recognize that, we say something about that. This is just something for you guys to think about today as we head into the rest of Maundy Thursday. Hope you guys are doing well and have a good day.